2 weeks ago, we showed you exclusive video of a mysterious object flying in the skies over Denver. That video has gone viral, and now it's getting worldwide attention, especially from people who track UFOs. We've heard from hundreds of people who think they know what it is, or do they? Fox 31 Denver investigative reporter Heidi Hammett is getting your questions answered tonight. She's here with a follow-up. Heidi?
That's right. Many of the people who saw our story on air and online believe our footage is not a UFO, but rather a military drone, remote-controlled toys, or even bugs. So we talked to more experts, and the answer may surprise you. It's video being watched around the world.
You're going up and up and up.
We first told you about these strange sightings in the mile-high skies after a Denver man who does not want to be identified brought us his home video. The flying objects are too fast to see with the naked eye, but when we slowed down the footage, something is there.
I would consider myself an expert.
We asked aviation expert Steve Cowell to analyze it.
It is not an airplane. That is not a helicopter. Those are not birds. I can't identify it.
The images were captured on camera from a hilltop in Federal Heights. That spot has now become a popular place for sightseers, camped out with their cameras, smartphones, and even lounge chairs.
I wanted to come out and get some footage for myself.
And we have been inundated with phone calls.
I'll tell you what those UFOs are. They're Obama's drones.
I'm calling from Virginia. I actually seen one in Detroit, Michigan.
I'm not a kook.
And emails from across the U.S., Europe, even Asia. Some sent us pictures of similar-looking UFOs. Others wrote to tell us they had solved our mystery. I believe your UFO is an RC aircraft. An RC, or remote-controlled aircraft, certainly seems like a possible explanation, but the man who originally shot the video spent several days in the area where the UFOs appear to be launching and landing, near 56th and Clay, and he saw no one flying a remote-controlled toy. How about military drones? Cowell also thought they were military drones until he watched the video.
I don't think it's a drone.
Cowell knows of no drone that looks like this. To fly unmanned aircraft, you have to get the FAA's permission. The University of Colorado is allowed to test drones in a rural area north of Boulder, but the FAA says there are no drones authorized to fly over Metro Denver. And finally, the most popular theory of all, bugs. I can assure you that the object captured by your cameraman was an insect, probably a fly. Entomologist Mary Ann Hamilton is an insect expert.
This is a toughie. I've never seen anything like this.
She took a long, hard look at the video, and in her professional opinion,
after watching the various shots, I would have to say no. I don't believe I do not believe it's an insect.
Even that won't convince some skeptics who showed up here last weekend to get a glimpse of it themselves.
UFOs that were originally filmed are not UFOs anymore. We've identified them as insects.
But for the believers, the answer to this mystery is still very much up in the air. Now, after the story aired, I was contacted by hundreds of people, but also by a retired military drone expert. He still has a pretty top secret job, so he did not want to talk on camera. But I asked him if the military could be testing drones without notifying the FAA. He said it's possible, but not likely because it's too dangerous to do that kind of testing in a populated area like Denver. We've also heard from people who tell us that we need to go out there and triangulate this shot, that we need to get a couple of different cameras and put them in different places, and then we can know for sure if it's a UFO. So, you know, if anyone out there has any information about that and wants to help us out, we would love to get the help.
Well, you know, it's so interesting because you've gotten contact from people all over the world about this story.
Right. Yes, we have. Japan, Seoul, Korea, Croatia. I mean, actually, a Japanese TV station contacted me today and asked if they could run it on there.
And you've taken a lot of grief for this,
yes,
too.
Yes, I have. I really have. You know, people are questioning my journalistic integrity. I mean, I just did a story. I just, you know, I thought it was unexplained.
Yeah.
And, you know, as I said before, I mean, you better have thick skin if you're going to go into this business.
You've done a lot of really important, serious stories, and you've changed a lot of things in this town, but you've never done a story like this where
it's fun. It's interesting.
All over the world are calling you with
Yes,
theories.
And people either believe it or they don't, or they think that I'm just a jerk who's out there, you know, shooting flies and making it up and telling people that it's UFOs, but I'm not.
we'll vouch
It's
for you.
unexplained.
You're not doing
We've
that.
talked to all the experts. I don't know what else to do, but if anyone out there has any ideas about how to triangulate this UFO, they want to go out and do it, we'll certainly do a follow-up. Send us an email at tips@kdvr.com or call us at 303-566-7575. And by the way, someone even got mad at me for saying the number wrong. The last report. What an idiot, you know? That's what I got.
It's all right. If they're not mad at you, you're not doing your job.
That's right.
Very
You
exciting.
know, Ron.
I would know, yes.
Poco después de las 5 de la tarde, realizaban un recorrido de rutina de vigilancia. Repentinamente captaron un eco y procedieron a seguirlo. Más tarde, pudieron grabarlo con la cámara. Este video es extraordinario.
No sabemos qué pasó en ese momento, no sabíamos qué era lo que estaba ahí, pero sabíamos que había algo. Y sin embargo, sabíamos que ahí estaba.
El ovni fue seguido por algunos minutos. Entonces, descubrieron a decenas de ovnis que se movían en formación.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8 en la pantalla. Síguelo, no lo cierres. ¿Están a la misma altura, Telles? Afirmativo. Poquito, arriba. 8, 9, 10, 11, contando toda la cola.
Más tarde se dieron cuenta que los ovnis los habían rodeado. Se percataron que estaban literalmente rodeados.
Póngase los cinturones de seguridad. No me espate. Si pueden checar por la ventana, tenemos uno que va aproximadamente a la 1. Y los demás pues siguen a las 9. O sea que los tienen rodeado.
Desde que fue presentado este video, se han generado más de una docena de explicaciones sobre lo que podría ser.
Jóvenes, no estamos solos. Sí, no estamos solos, de veras. Qué cosa tan rara, ¿eh?
Hi, my name is Matt Moniz. I'm the science advisor for the radio show Spooky South Coast. I've been a scientist for going on 25 years. Attended school at places like University of Massachusetts at Dartmouth and Harvard University. I've been a scientist and a paranormal researcher for a number of years. And there's one case that's always caught my mind, and that's the case of Roswell. Now, a lot of people think Roswell was just a crash of a balloon. Now, as a scientist, I look at that theory and I try and put the pieces together based on what has been provided by the people that were there. One thing that they all agree on, that something did crash, and that object left debris 700 yards wide by about 3/4 of a mile long. One of the theories is that it was a balloon. What I'm going to do now is show you, by using example of scale, that such a claim doesn't really scientifically hold any water. If you like, I'll show you. What I have here is a scale representation of the mogul balloon, which is what has been claimed to be the wreckage of Roswell. Now, this balloon I made is made from this roughly the same exact materials as that exact balloon that is claimed to have been from Roswell. The foil is the same type of foil that comes out of a cigarette pack, which was the same used as the radar reflectors on the mogul balloon. Cord and a basically rubber balloon, which was what was used for the mogul itself. Although these exact dimensions are not truly to scale, it is a very good, close, and approximate representation using the same materials. Now, it is this amount of surface area which equates when you calculate it all out to maybe at most 200 square feet of material that is supposed to cover an area 700 yards wide by 3/4 of a mile long, which is approximately the same scale that we have here, this 1/8 mile tract. How this is supposed to fill all that. And somehow was mistaken by a rancher, several individuals of the military, in the world's foremost and most secured nuclear facility of its day. This somehow filled that and got confused. Now, one of the things is this thing impacted and left a trench. Well, little something about lighter than air vehicles. As you will see, they don't crash that hard. Any questions? This is what happens when it's left. The debris cannot possibly cover an area that large, even if it is dragged by the winds in high speed. The amount of material it would take to cover an area that large is far more immense than the balloon scale that we have here. Ergo, mathematically, you can't fill this with that. Cool?